don't want to completely shelter your kids or your nieces or nephews. You got to let them stumble and fall every now and again,
He said it was only $20. First, it was the attitude of go buy it, spend those $20 on that, and then to actually read it, you still got to put into practice, and it took you 10 years later.
They're just setting up to be disappointed in the future. So then, like, once they grow up, oh, well, this guy buys me a lot of stuff, or this girl buys me a lot of stuff. She loves me, but then in reality, it's...
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Totem Podcast. I'm your host, Monico Carrillo. Of course, we got here
Eric. I'm your other co-host here on the show. But guys, before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the videos we put up. If you guys are liking the type of content we have, if you guys like the type of guests we have on and the conversation we're having, just remember to subscribe, like that video. And we're also on other podcast platforms, so pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, we're going to be on there. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and stuff like that. But guys, please be sure to share with one other person if you do enjoy what we got going on here. But remember, welcome to the podcast. We're in active rebellion is the question.
Oh, Eric got the shakes early this morning.
a little nervous.
Yeah. No, but today's guest, we got a great guest today. We decided to bring him on because, first of all, he accepted our invitation. So, but we decided to bring him on because we like to bring up the community, bring up the Hispanic community too. And so we're like, this guy, a lot of people know of him, so in his business. So, Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thanks for the invite, and it's good to be here.
No, appreciate it. So, you own a Morgan County Motors. Give us a little breakdown of like what you do and stuff like that.
Yeah, my wife and I own Morgan County Motors. We have two locations, one here in Fort Morgan, one in Yuma, Colorado as well. And we sell pre-owned vehicles. We offer all different kinds of financing, good, bad, no credit, buy here, pay here. We help people out get into vehicles and, anything car related. We have a service shop here in Fort Morgan as well that we have. So we can, pretty much take care of the customer from the sale to the repair and keep them, in their vehicle and keep them happy, hopefully.
Yeah. Not too long ago, like the shout out, there you go, for the window tint for the company vehicle.
Yeah.
You helped us out on that.
Yeah.
So
you guys brought your car over. We were able to help you guys out with the window tinting. That's something that we do offer. It's kind of spotty here and there because I outsource that from a really good window tinter that comes from out of town. So he's real busy and it's kind of short notice sometimes. But, I think you're happy with the job he did and the service he provided. He's a good guy. Views window tinting out of Denver. Thomas, he's a good guy. Been doing business with him for, probably 6, 7, 8 years now.
Yeah, makes a difference for sure because I was starting to drive. I started getting the tan on my arm and stuff.
The farmer tan.
Yeah, the farmer tan and stuff.
Yeah.
I got the farmer tan, but I'm doing everything but farming.
Yeah. So no. We can do a lot of things. Basically, anything automotive to keep your car going and looking good. Yeah. So we do detailing as well.
So tell me a little bit about, because you said you guys do like the low credit, no credit. How does that work out? Is it just like pretty much whoever comes, they're approved just with like a higher rate, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean we've got probably 25 or more credit unions that we use, and then from there we have probably another 10, 15 other finance companies and things like that help people reestablish their credit, or build credit if you've never had any credit. So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. It's not all credit-based. A lot of times your job could be your credit. If you have really good job time, life happens to people, and it's not their fault, just life happens and things happen in their lives to where they had to struggle and their credit had to take a turn for the worse. But they don't get penalized for that, but they've got really good job time and things like that. So, the banks take a look at an overview of the customer and try and help them out and get a vehicle that will fit their budget and, get them back on the right track.
So is it actually like true with a lot of the stuff? You see a lot of ads there on TV, on social media, and they'll be like, no credit, no problem. We'll get you here. You'll take a car with like no payment, no nothing down. Is this actually like true? Because usually if it's free, or they say, come here and
too good to be
there's
true.
a catch.
If you think about it, like I don't know you, and I'm just gonna be like, here's the keys to my car. Here, take it.
There's a lot of gimmicks out there that a lot of dealers still get into, but the reality of it is it's you're starting over, so unfortunately, sometimes you can. I'm not saying that it's not always, but for reestablishing your credit or starting out for your credit, more than likely it's going to take somewhat of a down payment. That's just kind of the way it is. But if you have stellar credit and you qualify, we do have banks that will qualify you with zero down. But of course that's a different tier of level.
It's not for everyone that's gonna.
There's different spectrums of credit, but we can try and help everybody as best we can and get them into a vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I think is actually like talks a lot about it, a lot about you, because if you were actually like doing all these gimmicks and stuff, like dude, people they would catch on right away.
You wouldn't last, really.
That guy that's right there on the one way.
Don't go there, man. That guy just he's saying a whole bunch of stuff and it doesn't come true. But no, we pretty much when you leave there, you know what the payment is, where you're going, and everything else.
Okay, so I wanted to kind of like rewind a little bit and start a little bit more from like the beginning and stuff. Sure. Because I was telling Eric the other day, like when I met you and we're talking, like I've known of you for a while.
Okay.
But when we're talking, I told Eric, like, this guy seems like he's a guy that he's like straightforward and he doesn't take shit from anybody. I don't know. I just got that sense, like maybe just being in business, that kind of makes you like that too. You got to be a little firm on some stuff, but like how did that?
Yeah, I've been in business here with at the same location 15 years, and we've sold a lot of vehicles in 15 years. And prior to that, I was worked at a different dealership before I opened mine here in town. So been in the car business 20 plus years, and before that I was I did it on my own as well, so just wholesale. So I've been in the car business a long time, and you get to learn people. You're a people person, and you try and be fair but firm. Fair but firm with situations that arise. Because you're not gonna make everybody happy all the time. But man, I try and I think that our reviews and our reputation says that.
Do you think that's just like you being in the industry for so long that you kind of built that like personality, or does it come from like when you were younger and how you were raised? Being raised, a different way.
How were you raised? Talk to us a little bit about like maybe like your childhood a little bit.
Childhood, yeah. Born here in Fort Morgan, raised in Weldona, 15 miles west of here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Weldona.
Yeah. Local kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. So, yeah, I grew up out there, went to school, kindergarten, graduated out there. We lived on a farm out there, ranch. My dad worked out there for 30 plus years, so, grew up farm kid, out there, and life was good, man. It was a good childhood. We hunted, fished, just did the country life out
Pretty much
there.
everything you can do out here in the country.
Yeah,
you're doing it.
it was good. Yeah, but family. Had I lived with my dad. My mom and dad got divorced when I was real young. My sisters went to live with my mom, and I lived with my dad out there. And my dad's sister, my aunt and uncle, they came to live with us when I was real young. When they got a divorce. So, grew up with my cousins and my aunt and uncle out there, and the community was small. We're a tight-knit community out there, and not a lot of Hispanic families out there, so there was a few of us, but the community was good, real good community out there. Loved it out there.
When you're young and stuff, who did you see like as a role model? Like, was it with, like, your dad, or was it somebody else that you started developing, like?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad was my rock. Just looked up to him. Hard worker, he was the oldest of 14 siblings, and when growing up, my granddad got sick, bedridden, when my dad was very young. He was probably 13, 14 years old, and that was back in Mexico. So he was the oldest and had to take care of all of his siblings. So, he had to, jump across at a very young age and start working to provide for my grandmother and all my aunts and uncles, and he learned very, very young, the work ethic and survival. He had to survive, had to make sure that he survived so he could keep his family alive too. So, his work ethic and his values, obviously transpired into me. I hope, that I do that well to this day.
Which one was the one that you think that transferred over to you most? Like, which value? Like the hard work, the ethic, the
work ethic, and your word. My dad would say something, and that's what it was. He did what he said he was going to do, always. He was old school, and that's all you had back. You still do. Is your word. And you gotta keep that true.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you're saying that, like, your dad, like, came over, like, at a very young age and stuff, and they obviously had to go through, like, a lot when they got here to kind of, like, build a life for themselves and all that stuff. And then, because a lot of people nowadays say, like, oh, kids from here are, like, they're immature, they're childish, they don't want to work, they don't want to do anything. But then it's kind of like comparing the way they were brought up. Like, your dad had a very different upbringing because he had to mature fast and become a man, essentially, like, at a younger age. And, like, kids now have a little bit more time to develop into that, I guess.
That's true. We've, and I'm guilty of it too. Probably spoil my kids too much, But it was different times, for sure. It was, came down to life or death back then. If he didn't work, my aunts and uncles didn't eat. My grandmother, she was taking care of everybody, and he had to provide, like, food, and things like that. So, our as generations come down the line, it is different. It is definitely different, but it still, boils down to us as parents, what values you still instill into your kids nowadays, and if you've instilled the right values and morals and ethics into them, then it's still not forgotten. I'm still a believer in that you can still have good people out there, and your children and things like that you can still, there is that's not gone, that's not dead.
Yeah. I kind of have, like, a little motto thing that I could live with my daughter and with my son. Like you're saying, you have to instill into your kids. My daughter, she's 6 barely, but still, it's like I always live by, like, in my mind, I'm telling her, like, your actions are so loud that I can't hear you. Yeah. So it's like I can't be telling her, like, you got to work hard, we got to practice, we got to do this, when I'm over here just fucking laying on the couch, you know, not doing anything.
Laying on the couch drinking a beer, like, no, keep
Drinking a
running
beer.
outside.
And so I have a thing too, is I always try to do it. It's like, if I wouldn't be comfortable doing it in front of my daughter, whatever it is, you know, like, would she be, you think it'd be cool just to be getting drunk, you know, and stuff like that? If I wouldn't do it, like, in front of her or whatever, you know, if I have to hide it, like, from them, then I probably shouldn't
be doing it. Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
Because
That's
they learn from your actions, and the same, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how Eric's experience was, but me, that's how I learned like that. Like, you see our dad, you know, he's up, it doesn't matter what time he goes to sleep, he's up at 5.
Yeah, right.
You know? So it's like, and then first you're just like, I wanted to ask you, because first I was just like, this guy's crazy, he's working too much and stuff. And then now I kind of find myself like, if the sun beat me up, like, I feel worthless. Like, I gotta be up before the sun, like, but how is that transition for you with your kids?
Yeah, I mean, try and instill that still today, you know, and because if a person stops doing that, I mean, there's enough problems in the world, you know. I mean, it's a tough world out there, and you know, I've always said it that, you know, my generation, I'm older than you guys probably.
Yeah.
But you know, we dealt with different things that what, you know, kids nowadays deal with, you know, and not saying that it's any easier nowadays, no, by no means, but you know, the things that we dealt with growing up compared to what kids do nowadays, you know, it's a whole different set of problems and things that we have to deal with in society, because society changes and evolves and things like that, you know. But still, I mean, the core values, in my opinion, should still be there, you know.
So what are some of the core values that you do have, like, that you instill in your kids?
You know, work ethic, say what you're gonna, you know, do what you say you're gonna do, you know, always look people in the eye, you know, stand up, respect. You know, that's huge. You know, you have to respect people to get that respect back. You know, if you don't respect people, then, you know, there's no reason for them to respect you. You know, but you know, the work ethic, definitely. You know, you still have to work nowadays. I mean, no matter what, you have to work. You know, doesn't matter what kind of job you have or what field you're in. You know, you have to work. You know.
So, like, I don't have kids, but
Yet.
But like how you're talking about, like, oh, like stuff in society going on nowadays, like, how do you find that balance? Like, for both of you, like, how do you find that balance of, like, what to teach your kids, and then also, like, not shying them away from, like, the real world? Because like I don't have kids or anything, but like I still care a lot about what's going on in society, because then when the time comes for me to have kids, I care about that stuff. Or like even
absolutely.
Like my nieces and nephews, like I still care about that. Like I feel other people should, not everybody does.
Not everybody does.
But like, how do you find that balance to like instill the values in them that they need to have, but not shy them away from everything else?
I mean, you know, you're right. You don't want to, you know, completely shelter your kids or your nieces or nephew. You know, you got to let them stumble and fall every now and again. You know, but you know, try and just be there, support. You know, and try and help them out. Like I said, like nowadays, the things that the kids go through nowadays is a whole different thing than what we went through, but still they still need support and help and guidance, you know, because that's what we're here for, you know. But every now and again, you know, they're going to have to kind of learn on their own and, you know, trip and fall and get up and dust yourself off and let's go again, you know, because you don't quit. That's one thing. You never quit.
Yeah. Now for me, I try to do it like the same kind of like Joe was talking about, but try to do like an example for stuff like you're saying. The whole thing is like you want it better for your kids than what you ever had.
Sure.
But then there's a problem with that because they're not going to be better because they're not going through the struggle.
Yeah.
They're going to grow up softer, essentially.
Yeah, they're going to be a bunch of fucking crybabies. And then so like with my daughter, like I'll do something, you know, like, oh yeah, if they want me to buy them something, like, yeah, I'll buy you this, and then they want something else, I'll be like, well, and then I show them like, okay, this is what we had to do to get this.
Yeah. Exactly.
So she's like, so she started T-balls. It sounds dumb, but she's just like, she wants to be able to hit the ball better. I was like, okay, well, to be able to hit the ball, you know, we're going to go outside and we're going to practice every day. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes she's like, oh, I don't want to practice it. Like, just don't be crying when you can't hit the ball. And, like, she's small, but still it's like when you're small, that's when you start catching on to these things.
But it's never too early.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we have our 2-year-old granddaughter. And oh my gosh, the best.
Grandparents spoil them too much, huh? That's how my kids are. It always is. Yeah. I'll be like, no, and then we were talking about it last time that she comes home with all kinds of like treats and stuff from us. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So, you know, grandparents that were already grandparents always said, hey man, you know, when you have grandkids, it's a whole different thing. Yeah, you know, whatever. You know, it's grandkids. You know, you're gonna love them. You know, just the same as you do your kids or whatever. But yeah, once they hit, it's a whole different level. Like it's a whole different level of, you know, love and you know, of course you want to try and protect her at all costs. But you know, I mean, she's a little daredevil, man. She just goes and she's the one that she'll trip and fall and get right back up and she's ready to go again. But you know, you never my point being is you start there. You know, you start from the very beginning and start to, you know, they're going to take on their own personalities and everything. Like, you know, my kids are older now, so each one of them is different. I'm sure, you know, both of you guys are different, you know, than as you guys were growing up. But, you know, you still the core, you know, your core values, whatever that may be, you know, whatever my core values, you know, that I wanted to instill in my granddaughter, my kids, maybe different than what, you know, other people do, whatever. But, you know, if you have that guidance and you know, I feel like having both parents at home is huge. You know, that was not growing up with both parents, you know, is tough. It's difficult, you know, and still today it's difficult for kids. You know, you can you know, see the difference, you know, and it's tough, you know, if you can be there for your kids, both parents, I mean, that's huge, you know, they're winning in that aspect nowadays, you know.
And it's like this thing like I heard, it's from like ages 0 to 12, you give your kid all the love in the world, that way they can feel like your support and your trust and everything. And then kind of once they hit puberty, it's like from 13 to 18, you instill that discipline in them.
Yeah.
So to like build the character, and then like after that, like they'll pretty much be set and they'll be able to pretty much take care of themselves like in life.
Then they're on their own.
Yeah. Let me just add to that a little bit though too, Eric, what you're saying, 0 to 12. But I think us as humans, we confuse what love is with other stuff. I don't think we really know what love is, because we think love is buying him the new phone, buying up the new this, buying them that. So in the moment when they go out to the real world and they're like, what do you mean I can't just have this? And then it's so, but I don't think we really know what love is as humans. Maybe I don't even know what it is either. I think I try to know. I think I know. But like you're saying, from 0 to 12, you give them love. But I think a lot of them grow up to be spoiled brats.
Well, it kind of depends what you define as love.
Yeah.
Because how I see it's like love is more like spending time with them, supporting them,
yeah.
caring about them, talking with them, actually seeing what's going, like how they're feeling. Like, yeah, like they're little, they can still communicate like how they're feeling and stuff like that. I think that's more of love than buying them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The definition of love. People sometimes think like, I'm not here all the time, so I'm just gonna show up with a new toy for my kid, and now they're happy. Like, oh, that's not love.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. That, you know, if that's your definition of love to your kids, then yeah, man, I don't know. That's not you, but you know, if that's the person's way of showing their kids love, I don't know. That's tough, man. That's a rough one.
Yeah,
they're just setting up to be disappointed in the future.
You know,
because then like once they grow up, they're like, oh, well, this guy buys me a lot of stuff, or this girl buys me a lot of stuff. She loves me, but then in reality, it's not good.
I mean, what happened a couple years ago, we were, getting for free money, I mean,
Our government loves us.
yeah, and now look, we're paying for it, I mean, that's tough. So
If it's really free, you don't want
that's
it.
what I was gonna say. There's nothing that's ever free in this world. That's one thing I've learned. There's nothing that's ever free. There's always a price to pay. Maybe not now, but down the road, somebody somewhere is gonna pay for something.
So you don't offer free stuff, do you? At your place?
Not really. No.
It's like this thing I heard. It's if the government says, "Hi, I'm here to help," you should probably run away.
I'm here helping out from the government. That's what they
I'm
say.
gone, man. I'm going the other way real quick. Yeah, that's for sure. But touching on your free stuff, no, we do give free stuff away. I mean, we're huge supporters of the community. I don't know if you've been in my office. I mean, we support the kids. From football teams to baseball to the 4-H, the fair sale. I mean, everything. I mean, we're huge supporters of the kids in the community and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess we do give away free, benefits or silent auctions. I'm always doing giveaways for that, so that they can auction off some stuff and details, oil changes, combinations. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So how did you get started like in the car business? Because you said you've been in it for like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So it's like, how did you first get into it?
Yeah, okay.
Or why too?
Why? Just always into cars, even growing up. Always tinkered with my own cars and things like that when I was younger and when I first got my cars in high school. But I graduated high school, went to community college here, MCC, for the auto collision program. So I went into auto body after high school, did that for probably 10 plus years. And through that, I just knew that there was always something that I could do with cars. On the side, I was, kind of buying and selling cars and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, man, maybe I can do this, on different levels. So, started looking into it, how to get licensed and everything, do it legit. So, looked into that, and I forget, and I was going to bring the magazine. I was reading a magazine one time, and then at the back, they used to have all these ads back then. It was print ads, selling stuff, or and one of these little print ads says, become a wholesaler, meaning become a car wholesaler, or something to that effect. Send 1995 for the holy grail of the book, the Bible, to teach you everything. Yeah, mm-hmm. So I did, because that was, I thought, well, heck, this will give me knowledge of how to get into it. So I did. I got that little book, and man, I read it, and it was good, for back then, but it gave me where to start. At the end of the book, it just broke it down by states, who you needed to contact to get your licensing and all that stuff. So I did. It was crazy. $20 got me into the business, and 20 some years later, here we are. And so yeah, after I got my wholesale license, started doing that for a couple years, and then went into retail at a different car lot here in town, and then eventually opened up where I'm at now. And then
how long did it take from to actually opening up your spot to like when you first read that book?
It was probably 2008, so probably 10 years.
So it took you 10 years to actually like open it up
Yeah,
and stuff?
the retail.
Yeah,
end
the
of
retail.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. That like kind of where I'm going with it. Like you said, it was only $20, but yeah, first it was the attitude to go buy it, spend those $20 on that, and then to actually read it, because there's a lot of times, buy this, and it's gonna do X, Y, Z for you. And a lot of people buy this stuff and
they expect it to just happen just because they bought it.
Yeah. And it's not like that. No. You still got to put it into practice, and like it took you 10 years later, still people want to buy it now, and then they want to see the return in a week.
Right away. Like, I mean, we're in a have it now society, and things take time and stuff, but I was in the business that whole time, but till when I actually opened up the retail spot, it was about 10 years. So, but yeah, I mean, you just have to have that drive and determination and focus of what what your end goal is going to be.
So were you doing the whole sales too, like the sales of the portion of it?
Yeah.
Or was it, or how was it?
So yeah, like I said, when I first started out working at the different dealership here in town, I didn't know how to. I'd never sold before. I was just always wholesale, so it was just dealer to dealer or auction to auction, that type stuff. So then I learned how to sell.
How was that process?
That was interesting. It teaches you. A couple things that always stick out is, never judge people, because in sales it's easy to do because perception is almost everything, and when you first start out in sales, like, oh man, well, I don't want to be told no, I don't want to, what if they say this or what if they say that? Well, you never judge, man. Or what if they can't buy, or what, everything, you don't want to have that negativity set in on you, because that will cost you money big time, and if you do, you're going down the wrong path. Maybe sales isn't for you. You should do something else. So, at an early stage, you need to get that out of your mind. You focus on what the end goal is, and you pursue every avenue, and do it 110%. Because if you start judging, situations, judging people, that's no good, man. That'll cost you money in the end, and that's a hard lesson to learn, because it hurts your pocketbook.
and I think, I mean, you learn about a lot about yourself too.
You do,
because you're like how down, like you're saying, how down you get on yourself or whatever. Like you said, I think everybody should do it, but I don't think it's for everybody.
No, definitely. I mean, our the mentality that we have, we walk in Monday morning, we're broke, basically. Day one. Like by Saturday, we have better sold some cars, man, because we have to make some money. Whether it's me, my salespeople, everybody, we have to have that end goal. We have to sell some cars. That's the thing that makes it work. And
did you just kind of like develop that, like I don't know if it's like how do you say it?
Like the mindset?
Yeah, like the mindset too, or did you see somebody else like that was kind of in the business that you were just like, okay, I need to translate this to my salespeople?
Definitely, there's a lot of people out there that we follow and look up to and follow their teachings and in schools and stuff like that. But it comes down to you yourself. I think that you said it. Sales may not be for everybody, and it's not. I mean, even me now, still, when I sell a car, like I get this, and I've tried explaining it to people, and I don't know if it's adrenaline or what that feeling is, but you gotta have it. We just call it, like in the car business, you gotta have it. And if you know, like you have that feeling. If you get, jacked up and you're on cloud nine because you just sold a vehicle and you're happy that you were able to help somebody and things like that, like you have it. it's in you. You know, you have that sales. You know, it's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain.
But
Yeah.
you know, if you have it, you got it, man. You're good to go.
I think it's like more having like the want to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just get like anybody to become a salesman. Because someone who actually wants to get better and be improving, then they're gonna like actually strive for that. They're not just gonna be sitting around like, oh, whatever, they didn't buy. No, they're gonna be like, why did they buy?
Why? Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna be looking to keep getting better.
Yeah, and that's sales too. You know, I mean, you always have to be constantly training yourself and wanting to be better and figure out the why. You know, like, okay, if I didn't sell them, why didn't they buy? Was it me? Was it the money? Was it the machine? Was it the car? You know, figure out why they didn't buy and improve on it and ask people. You know, I mean, we're getting to the point, you know, you ask people like, okay, if you're not ready to buy, is it me? You know, or is it the cards? Is there something that you didn't like the car? You didn't like your payment or whatever? You know, figure out. You know, people will tell you.
And then you'll swing right back in for the close. You'll be like, no, it's none of that. Okay, sign right here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but you know, we you know, try and do no pressure. I mean, it's you get it at some places, and oh my gosh, you're in there for 6-7 hours and just
brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. People hate that, and I mean,
It takes up your whole day.
yeah. That's why people hate car shopping. You know, now, I mean, the internet and new concepts out there, the Carvanas, the view rooms, and all that stuff. You know, do it all online, and I think that is, you know, it has its place, but people still want to come in and talk to Eric, talk to Monico, talk to me. You know, hey, you know, let me drive this car, let me feel it, can I take it to my mechanic? Sure, you know, it's got its place, but I think to replace a salesperson or a brick and mortar, there's still a long ways down the road, you know, because there's still a lot of people that still want to have that interaction with who they're dealing with, you know, face to face.
Yeah. So I was wondering, do you, like, with you guys at your business, do you have stuff that like somebody without like a social could buy a car? Or how's that process?
Yeah,
Because since we're like I'm asking because we're in a big like Hispanic community,
Sure.
and a lot of the people don't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's weird. Some people they have more money and they don't have a social than the ones that have a social. It's crazy how it works. But.
No social, I-10, driver's license with the strip, doesn't matter. I mean, we can work with it all, and you know, we try and help people out every week. You know, whatever their situation may be, we try and place them and get them into a vehicle. Yeah, but to answer your question, yeah, we can definitely help people out with, you know, no socials or I-10s, marked up driver's license, you know, all that stuff. We can definitely help people out.
Yeah, I'm wondering about like how you say you're so like involved in the community. You know, you give back a lot to the stuff. I think a big aspect that people don't like realize maybe is that to make that happen, I mean, you need to obviously make money too, but it's like the buying local portion of it, because
Sure.
you buy local and the taxes stay here.
Yeah.
People, they buy somewhere else, so the taxes stay over there, and then they cry why this town's not good, but then
Yeah.
they're, you know what I mean? And then they're paying like double taxes somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, definitely. I mean, if you can stay local, I mean, it just helps the local economy, and you know, our economy, you know, definitely could use any help it can receive. I mean, you know, the more we keep it local here, the better it is for everybody. And like you said, yeah, I mean, the more people buy local with me, with, you know, local mom and pop shops and keep us going, the more we can give back to the community and help that way, you know, and give back. Because if we don't, you know, the big corporations are just coming in and trying to swoop everything up, you know, and every it seems like every industry, you know. I mean, our industry, of course, you know, that I just talked about, you know, the Carvanas, the V-Rooms, the big corporations. I mean, they're wanting to come in and gobble up as much market as they can, you know. But like I said, there's still a lot to say for walking in and dealing with somebody local. That's huge. You gotta, you know, keep it local as much as you can, and you know, keep the money here.
I think one reason, excuse me, that people do that is because they can go buy like a new car or something, and then because like I guess the stigma with buying used cars, they're like, oh, it's probably like an old beat up car, like a grandma car, like a '98 Civic or something like that. Do you guys like offer? Because I imagine you guys offer like a wide variety of stuff. Like, just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. Like, used cars still have a lot of benefits.
They do, you know. I mean, and we try and carry a wide variety, like you said. Eric is trying to meet a whole bunch of different needs for different people, you know. And you know, at the end of the day, we try and fill, you know, all those different voids with trying to carry a little bit of everything. You know, I mean, we can't carry it all, but if we can't do it, there's somebody else local here that can, you know, that you know, you can try and keep it local and shop local, you know. I mean, we're not a one-stop shop for everything by no means, you know. There's other people in town that can definitely help out as well, so.
That's what's crazy. I think like what you're talking about, that like the stigma of it. Technically, if you go for a car, a 2023 is already a used vehicle. Like, because they bought it, they used it for a couple months. It's not sold as a new vehicle. So it's
That's
like
true. To get a technically new vehicle is gonna be rare.
Like, yeah, and then for me, I mean, I consider you for like 2015 and up. I'm like, dude, you're fucking balling. You're a new vehicle.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Like, people, they want a brand new car. I mean,
Sure.
I mean, I think, I don't know.
And we have access to, you know, I mean, I have access to every auction across the United States now with the internet and things like that. You know, you come to me and say, hey, Joe, I'm looking for this 2023, you know, F-150. I want it this color, you know, equipped this way, that way, these miles. I mean, we can narrow it down to, you know, out of 10,000 F-150s that are in the United States, let's say, we can try and narrow it down to something to fit your needs, you know. And just because I don't carry it here doesn't mean that I don't have access to them.
Oh, so you guys have access to like everything.
Yeah, everything.
Like,
Oh, that's
so
good.
pretty much any, like if you guys have something, like they can just come and be like, hey, I'm looking. That's good. I'm
Yeah,
looking that,
for
so
sure.
That's huge.
How'd you guys go about opening up the location in Yuma?
Back in 2019, I was running out of room here in Fort Morgan, as I still am. But there was an opportunity that arose up there for a location that was a good location. So, yeah, we just pursued it and, you know, went with the remodel, and October of 19 we opened up there, and then COVID hit.
Perfect time.
Yeah, perfect time. It was tough. 2020 was a rough year, but you know, we made it through, and it's still going strong up there. So, yeah.
So is it to open it up over there just to give you more space and to like kind of hit a different market instead of just doing it brush or something?
Yeah, definitely hitting a different market and different needs. We have a lot of customers from that area. Prior that we would sell here in Fort Morgan, so it just made sense to, you know, try and expand a little bit further east.
No, that's cool. Mm-hmm. So Joe, I mean, what could we expect from you guys within the next year, 1 to 3 years? What can we expect?
You know, we're still going strong, and the industry is always evolving. You know, the car industry is just always evolving left and right. So, you know, we definitely try and keep up with the industry. I sit on the Colorado Independent Automobile Dealers Association board, so we're always trying to stay on top of things with compliance and things like that. New products, new trends that are coming out. We the CIADA is up and first and foremost to get it out to all of us independent dealers. So, just always evolving with the business and keep providing the top service that we do and meeting needs and helping people out.
That's cool. Did you get like an award or something for the that you're a part of?
Yeah, a couple years ago. When I got elected, that was didn't have any Hispanics on the board, and they're evolving as well. Want to reach out to we've got a lot of Hispanic dealers in Colorado, and try and get more involvement from them and help them out and outreach. So yeah, it was good. It was a good move.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing something like that. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. So go for it.
So if people want to reach out to you, like, where could they find you? Like, are they on social media or in person too?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're starting to get on TikTok.
Your website,
our website, yeah, www.morgancountymotors.com. You'll be able to see both inventories off of one website, our inventory here in Fort Morgan and in Yuma. So, one stop there, get you all of our inventory at one shot. Message us. We can do everything basically online as well. I mean, like the big dealerships do. If you want to sign all your paperwork and just come pick up your vehicle, we have that ability as well to do that. So that's pretty huge with the technology that we have. So that's pretty cool. We can take care of all the paperwork wise electronically, and get you in and out. Not 6 or 7 hours later, 20 minutes.
That's probably the worst part about car shopping.
Yeah,
the time it takes.
Yeah. So, but we're out there. We'll be setting up at Bobstock coming up. So we're always got a couple vehicles there. 4th of July parade also. That's a fun time. Kids love that. We throw out. We have water balloon fights with people, and get throw out the popsicle. Kids love the popsicles on the 4th of July, and we enjoy it. My team is 100% always there, so I couldn't do it without them either. I want to give a huge shout out to them. Without my team, it couldn't exist. It wouldn't work. So it's not just me. It's my team is there with me day in, day out, grinding, and I appreciate them a lot.
No, that's awesome.
And we appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come out here and talk with us.
Yeah, this was cool, man. I appreciate you guys inviting me out and getting to know who I am, I guess.
Yeah,
what we do.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put all your links down in the description, so if people want to check you out, like, they can go on there and check it all out.
Yeah.
Go car shopping a little bit. Yeah. But guys, that's pretty much it for today. If you guys liked the conversation we had today, just give this video a thumbs up. Share it around with a friend if you guys like the information we got going on here. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified every single time we got a new video coming up. But with that, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And remember that an act of rebellion is to question.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.